Hello and welcome to this video where I'm really quickly going to show you how I create my thumbnails for my YouTube videos. So I use something called Canva. It's a free image creation and editing tool. I use the Canva for Work, which is the paid version, and that's because I have clients I have to manage. And so what that allows me to do is add custom fonts, create folders and templates, different brand color palettes, and things like that. It's important for my job, but for most small business owners, the free version will work fine. Now, the cool thing about Canva is it comes with a lot of pre-configured design sizes, so you can I'll just really quickly, if you scroll up to the top, you can select, and if you select more, you will see more designs. Now I have one here, how to get engagement on your live broadcast, and this is a thumbnail. I'm going to use this one just to show you how you can use, even if you don't have Canva for Work and you can't use the templates that way, you can just click on this little arrow and make a copy, and you would be able to basically use that as a template if you wanted to. So I'm going to click on this one, and you will see Canva is wonderful. There's so many templates and different elements and styles, and you just drag and drop. So it's really, really easy to use. I'm not going to go into that today. I'm specifically going to show you how to create a thumbnail, but it's definitely worth playing around with. So all of my thumbnails, again, I use a simple template. It's a picture of my face. I have this space. I always make sure when I create images, I've got this big space for text. And as I mentioned, what I do is I always stand to the side when I'm creating tons of pictures so that there is this room. And then I usually take 20 to 30 pictures so that I have lots of different poses and styles to choose from. One reason is so that I can choose which one I want to use for my thumbnail, but the other reason is so that I can create social media graphics in the future. I don't always have to be creating new selfies every time. So I have this folder called Chloe. It looks extremely vain because it's full of pictures of me. Tons and tons of pictures of me, which is only from 4 videos, I may add. So there's from 4 videos, but there's a ton of different poses, and that's because I never know what blog topic I'm gonna need a picture for, or what YouTube thumbnail I want to create, but sometimes I need graphics and I'm not always in the mood to create them. So this just allows me the freedom to be able to be as productive as I possibly can and batch create content. That's really the purposes. So we're going to create one for this specific tutorial, which is how I create my YouTube videos. So I'm just going to switch out. We're going to start from scratch. So let me just delete this and I'll show you exactly how I did it. So I start off by picking a picture. What one will we pick? Let's pick this one. So I will just pull this and so that it's big enough, and we'll just put this here. That'll do. And then I go to elements, I select a rectangle, and of course you can do it whatever you like. I just try and keep it as simple as I can. I pull it over here so it looks like I'm looking directly at the text, which is the point for psychology and stuff. I have my brand palette here so I can change it if I wish, but I always stick with this pink. I then go to text and I'm going to select this bottom one, which is Railway Thin, but I'm probably going to change it to Railway, a different font, the thicker version. So I'm just going to put how I create my YouTube videos. Just make that a little bit bigger, maybe not quite so big, maybe here. And I'm going to change it just to the normal version of Railway, so it's a little bit thicker and easier to read. And I'm going to make that bold, and then I'm going to make it white. And there we go, thumbnail created. I always change the design title so I don't lose track of it, and you're good to go. I then download it as a JPEG file. I used to do PNG, but then a graphic designer told me off for that, so now we do JPEG. I just wait for that to download, and then I usually pull it out to my desktop, so it's really conveniently there for me. And then I head over to Screenflow, where I go to edit my video. So as you can see, I am now in Screenflow, and all I do is I selected create new document, and I just drag in this thumbnail that I created, and I pull in the video as well. So I just drag it into the media library very, very quickly, and I literally drag the image in. I only want it, this is a video. I drag the thumbnail in, and you see it takes up the whole thing. I probably could have centered that better, but it's fine for now. I only want this to last like 1.5 seconds, and then I click this little gear icon. I put add end in transition, and then I show the transition in inspector, and I make sure it's dipped to black for 1 second. That's what I want to do to transition it. I then pull this in, I make sure that it is the right size, and I make sure there's no weird so there's like a second, so I just take that out. And then all I do is I go to File, I go to Export, and then I give it a name. Something like this. I make sure it's high, and I always scale by 100. I always like it a little bit bigger, and then I export it. And this is going to take like a minute to do. The next thing I do is I'm just going to cancel that for a second just to show you another thing you can do. You can export it if you are, say, recording something that you also want to put out on audio only, for example, a podcast. So I do interviews through video, but then I strip the audio for my podcast. You would select the preset here of lossless audio only. So that's another thing you can do if you wanted to do that. And you would probably want to check that it sounds okay and everything before you do that. But that's really all I do. I then upload it to YouTube, and I have pre-configured descriptions and tags that I use that I save in an Evernote folder. So I just copy and paste that in, get ready to upload, and that's me done. It's a really, really simple process. If I want to come back to Canva, I can do, and I can use that to create social media posts. So for example, if I wanted to share this graphic as change dimensions, if I wanted to share this as you can select multiple ones, which is pretty cool, but say I want to share it as an Instagram post, abracadabra, it's like magic. And I just need to just play with it a little bit. And I now have an Instagram picture that I could put out. Ta-da! And it really did. We did that all live. So it was live, recorded. So it's a really quick, effective way to really create graphics, create thumbnails, repurpose them, and do it in the most effective way possible. Hope you found this valuable.